Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the Forest of Training against Basil Hawkins, utilizing double verse ace. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's jump in. Alright, so we're over here on stage 12 against Holden. This is where things start to get a little bit tricky. You do come up against Okiku on stage 10 or 11, I think it is. I think it's 10. It might be 11. Where she gives you, like, blows away your friend captain and stuff, and that's a little bit annoying, but just use your switch abilities, you can get through it. And then against Ryoiin, he's going to give you a full board of unfavorable T&D slots, so just use the switch ability of Zoro and Luffy to remove that special blind. The switchability of Luffy Zoro is pretty much the big reason they're here, as well as being a great orb booster chain locker as well, but the big reason they're here is because they remove special blind and they can use the Nami support. So very, very important not to use their special for the entire run, which is a little bit annoying, but this team has enough power to do so. Once we get the threshold down to like 2 turns, this is where we are going to burst down Holden. We're going to use our our ace special because we have a strength orb. Ideally, you want to try and get that strength orb before the X-Drake stage on stage 5, and that way you can actually hang on to it for the entire run. And with that, you can just guarantee yourself the chain lock every time you use an ace special. Now, I actually stuffed it up, and I actually switched with Vivi Rebecca first. That is something you need to be very, very careful of. But with the ace special, removing the threshold and getting the recovery orbs with Jewelry Bonnie, we can actually take that stage out. Now, ideally, you want to try and save 2 to 3 recovery orbs, so that way you can heal up, but you do want to have some orbs so you can continuously get the versatility of both your aces. Onto the Conjurer and Kinemon stage, you've got to be really careful here. They paralyze our captains and give us special reverse, but Ace removes that, which is just awesome. With the Aura Jackson, we can remove some of the paralysis, and we just want to do a little bit of damage here. Now, try not to do more than around half of their HP, otherwise they will do some really nasty things, and it basically spells the end of your run. So just be very, very careful not to do too much damage to them, otherwise things can go south very, very quickly. Onto stage 15 now, we come up against Kyoto Shiro. He's going to slot bind us and give us 2 turns of special bind. And that's why, once again, Luffy Zoro is just absolute god tier for this particular forest. They were actually designed for this forest. So it makes sense why they're such a good unit. And every time I'm sort of doing this forest, if I can find a spot for them on the team, I normally will. Just because they just work so damn well. They're very similar to Vivi Rebecca. Vivi Rebecca obviously find a way into pretty much all long content, but the Luffy and Zoro character, just absolute weapon, and they don't have perfect synergy with Versace, but they still help out, especially when it comes to long content. Once Kyoto Shiro puts up the damage reduction buff, that's where we're going to burst him down. We're going to use our Vivi Rebecca special to remove those defensive effects, and then we can actually use our other... Well, actually, I think we're going to use the Verse ability, yeah. We're going to use the Verse ability to get the conditional boost, which actually we've already done that. I was rambling away. With that 2 times conditional boost and the chain lock from Vivi Rebecca's switch ability, we have enough damage to actually take out Kyoto Shiro here. Now, ideally, just eat some meat orbs along the way. You just really want to hit your greats. Very similar to most stereotypical runs against the Hawkins Forest. You sort of just want to hit your greats where your meat orbs are and just hit your perfects where you need to if you need damage output. Onto the Jack stage now. Jack is going to despair our captains for 2 turns, and he makes all colored orbs unfavorable. Or actually, no, he makes strength and dex unfavorable. This is where we have Sabo Koala, and it's actually a reason why I sort of put them on the team, mainly just to remove this debuff. It's not essential to remove it with most teams, but with Ace it kind of is, because he actually makes strength, dex, and quick orbs matching. So on the second turn, once we've gotten rid of the despair, we've applied the burn mechanic on that first turn as well, which does a little bit of damage to Jack, as well as giving us a conditional boost. We can actually remove the unfavorable slots with the Sabo Koala special, and that way we can give ourselves an attack boost, and with a chain lock and color affinity boost from our switch abilities, we can actually take out Jack on this very first turn, on the second turn, which is actually really, really good, as Jack actually has a lot of HP, and he can actually be a bit tricky for most stereotypical teams that actually take on this particular piece of content. So with that, we're going to hit our perfects when we need to. We have that 2.5 times chain lock, and we can easily take out Jack, no issues whatsoever. We do have color affinity with like 2 of our units as well. 3 if you count the Vivi variation when you are Vivi and Vivi Rebecca. So that's actually really, really nice too. On to the next stage, we come up against Law, Subermask, and Zoro. They are going to bind our top and bottom right and our middle left. So with the switchability of Zoro and Luffy, ideally you want them either in the bottom left or the middle right. We can remove that. We're also going to use the special of our Ace, our friend Ace. That way we can get an Orb Boost and a Chain Lock. And with that, we're just going to absolutely melt this particular stage. Like, absolutely melt it. Ideally, you want to be in the int variation of Sabo Koala when you use their special on the previous turn. But if you don't, it doesn't matter all that much. As you can see, we have so much damage that we can just melt this whole stage. Literally just with one A special, which is pretty nice to see. On to the next stage against Jack. We are going to take our time here, and we are going to stall a little bit. He does have 3 turns of damage reduction, threshold, and attack down, so we have to stall that out anyway. But with our meat orbs and the switchability of Viva Rebecca, we can actually stall that for as long as we really need to. He does blow away your friend captain every sort of like 2 turns, but eventually that stops and he starts doing like double damage. So just be mindful of your HP, because if you only have 2 recovery orbs like myself, you've got to be careful and you may sort of have to hit some perfects just to abuse the pinch healing mechanic. But we're going to fast forward a little bit here until we sort of take out Jack. Alright, so we're down to like 2 specials on our friend Ace now, and that's pretty much where we want to be with all of our specials. So we can sort of take out Jack now, and we can move on to the next stage against Kaido. Now, against Kaido, he is actually immune to... Well, actually, no, I'm thinking of the Kid Forest. He gives us a burn. It's a 15k burn, and this is where things get really shaky, as we are running the Aura Jackson. So be very, very careful when you're hitting your perfects, and just be mindful of how much HP you have. Ideally, you want over 30,000 HP, just like myself. So that way you can actually take 2 of the burn hits. Now, I actually stuffed this up. I was actually thinking when I was doing this run, I was like, man, I'm getting really good at hitting greats with the Aura Jackson. And then I got to this stage, hit 2 perfects, and I was like, yeah, no, my run's done. It's done. Like, it's over. But I had 30,700 HP, so we just managed to stay alive. With Kaido, he actually makes recovery, like, dip drastically. So, like, the meat orb, like, shenanigans you do with the perfect orb seal becomes sort of irrelevant at that point. So when I was sort of stalling on Jack, I was just hitting perfects on both Zoro and Vivi Rebecca, and as you can see, I hit perfects there. We do a lot more damage, but it's very, very scary, so just be mindful of your HP. But if you break the perfect barriers on your Zoro and your Vivi Rebecca, it's not the end of the world, as we have lots of matching orbs with our 2 ace captains anyway. Once we kill Kaido, though, he has a revive mechanic, and he special binds our entire crew for 3 turns. Once again, this is why Luffy Zoro is just absolutely god tier. But with the special of our Verse Ace, we get 2 turns of Orbis and 2 turns of Chain Lock. So it makes it very, very easy for taking out Kaido. On to the final stage against Hawkins, he turns into the opposite color to our captain, so we don't have color affinity. But with this particular team, if you've switched right with Luffy and Zoro, you can actually have 3 characters that have color affinity in Vivi, who's also a free spirit, mind you, which is really, really nice. We have Bonnie, and then we have Zoro. With Bonnie's special, we can remove the defense up. We can use our Luffy and Zoro special for a 2.75 times Orb Boost, as well as a 3 times Chain Lock. And with the support of Nami, we can remove the other 2 turns of Despair, which is really, really nice. Finally, we're going to get an attack boost and color affinity with the switchability of Sabo and Ace, which again is very, very nice, as you can't use color affinity on this final stage. And with that, we've just got so much damage that we can actually just destroy this final stage against Hawkins. So there you guys go. That was the Hawkins Forest utilizing the new Verse Ace. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.